Hey guys, figured I should probably come down and document this in person. We're at Santiago Calatrava's Reddings Sundial Bridge. Isn't that interesting? That rattlesnake has 3.5 coils, the same as the kundalini that goes up the spine for the New Age movement and opening the third eye. And that's one of the signs down at Sundial Bridge. So we all know that Santiago Calatrava built this, but that right there is his. Santiago and Calatrava, both sides of his family have Templar knighthoods. So this is how busy it is around here. Millions of people end up showing up each year to come out, take selfies with that Baphomet worship penis. Right there's the vagina. Okay, so we just came down here, and one of our buddies is letting us borrow his phone to see Baphomet worship, male and female, right? The as above, so below. So over here we get the as above, so below from the reflection of the water. Right here is the penis. Right there is the vagina. I'm going to walk over here next and show you where Sean Foyt was standing when he was starting his Let Us Worship Super Spreader event. So here is another view of the garden and Sundial. So when we just pointed out that we were at the triangle, the vagina, it was over there. If you go through the vagina, it comes down here to the womb of the Baphomet. Look at how many people are out here. There's whole lines like it's a zoo. So from right here, we're going under here to be able to go under the vagina and into the womb. It's pretty interesting that the entrance into the womb is through the east, with their backs to the east, worshiping the sun to the east. So this bridge brings millions of people each year to Redding, California that were not here before. Do you guys know that this property was essentially stolen? The owners gave this property because when I talk about Uncle Tony, I came down here with Freddie. This is where we used to fish. The owners of this property gave the property to the city of Redding with the understanding that they were not allowed to build on this property. It was to remain a natural preserve for the next 100 years. And it was only after something like 20 or 30 years that the city of Redding decided to renege on that agreement that gave them this property, and they built a Baphomet worship statue that brings 1 million people to Redding. Do you guys know that from here, BSSM is only like from the end of the bridge 100 yards or 150 yards away over there? That's how close BSSM is to where we are standing for this Baphomet worship. That is so cool how that happens almost by myself down here. So originally, when Santiago Calatrava built this bridge, there was a brass sphere under here. I don't see. It used to line up with that set of bricks. I'm looking for the repair marks for where it would have been sitting. You don't see the repair marks. Anyways, so under here, see how that's the vagina? Down here is where Sean Foyt was doing his Let Us Worship Super Spreader event. See what happens when you come up and under where Sean Foyt was at, that's the vagina. The penis comes through the vagina into the womb. Originally, Santiago Calatrava's seed, the brass sphere, was under here. So, in the same way, same occult line of thinking and magic, see how this is reflected, the bridge down in the water and the bridge above? So, as above, so below magic, reflection magic, the same stuff that they have over at Bethel's Alabaster Prayer House, that is Bethesda's pool. Every time they do one of these types of magic, they have to have the reflection stuff for as above, so below, while they're writing out their occultic witchcraft. So, this is from the top of the vagina, up the shaft of the penis, down to the vagina. That's what it looks like through the vagina from above. I can't reach any higher. Sorry guys, I'm short. Should have asked tall Alex to do it. 2 pillars before you get on the bridge. Slippery when wet or icy. Yes, because they made a bridge out of glass that was frosted. We asked why we couldn't have clear glass on this bridge. They told us that it would raise the temperature of the water for the salmon by 10 degrees, acting as a magnifying glass. But then, if you go back onto the KIXE Channel 9 videos that they used to play for us every night as we'd go to sleep, that video told us about Mrs. Caldwell donating the property for Caldwell Park, the original plunge. When they built the dam, the temperature of the water dropped by 30 degrees, and because of the temperature of the water in the river dropping by 30 degrees, they created the plunge swimming pool at Caldwell Park, and we weren't swimming in this water anymore. So, if this bridge had been clear and gone up by 10 degrees, it would have been 10 degrees closer to the original temperature of the water that the salmon were spawning in to begin with. So this was an intentional, them putting, I hope that doesn't get me a copyright strike. This is frosted glass because it's ejaculation. Penis, vagina, ejaculation, womb underneath us. We're going over to the seed. They made this into a Lucifer worship location, and everybody's coming down here to participate in this Baphomet worship, and nobody in town has any idea that this is going on except for the occultists that did it. Let's go find the seed so that we can put together the rest of this occult magic. City of Reddings paying to be able to keep this phallic symbol maintained. See that little hexagon? We'll talk about how that turtle and that hexagon are all over inside this property and how it ties back to the hive mind of Freemasonry again. Go look it up. This is interesting and wasn't planned. You guys over here protecting this thing?
Yeah, it's pretty secure.
No, this. It's probably worth more than all the crackheads in town could pick up of brass or copper or anything else in the area, huh?
No, there's no way they can get that out.
Oh, I was making a joke. I meant like you guys were armed security, because as much copper that they steal from wires and that stuff,
Oh, yeah.
they would take one truck. It's like hitting an ATM. You go wrap a chain around it and yank it out. That sure does look like a seed. What do you guys think about the design of this thing?
It's pretty cool.
Have you ever looked into the designer? you guys don't know anything about Santiago Calatrava, you should look into him. He's quite an interesting character. You know that both sides of his family over in Spain have their own knighthoods, which his first name, Santiago, is his mother's knighthood, and then Calatrava would be his dad's knighthood. He squished both the names together, and if you go over and look at the logo for his architecture firm, it's his family's Templar cross from Spain.
I know in the museum they have all the information on it, like the sculpture when they were going to start building it and all
Right.
that in there. But
So if you look at this from the right angle, it makes into a similar kind of a cross like his family's cross. It's quite an interesting,
that's cool.
everything around here is quite interesting.
Yeah.
We got to keep our eyes open and see what this stuff really is.